Yeah, so welcome everybody. I'm glad that we have a diverse population of current as well as aspiring fitness professionals. And I'll use the term fitness loosely. If you're here, you want to help other people. You want to help them lose weight, gain weight, and establish healthy habits, improve their lifestyle. You're in the service industry. Odds are, if you're here also, like you know who I am, you know what these two letters on my shirt mean. You choose to live your life ever forward, and you find value and you connect with the content that I put out, that my brother puts out, that all of our coaches have to offer. So thank you, first of all, for that. Thank you for being here. But I will start this by saying that you are in the industry, or you are going into the industry of changing lives. And if you don't think that is the case, I promise you, you are drastically mistaken. It is way more than just helping people get into the gym. It is way more than learning how to meal prep. It is way more than just learning how to make a low calorie, gluten free, high protein cookie versus whatever you can find in the mall or something. Those are, of course, things that just come with the territory. But what we are really doing here is helping people peel back the layers, get down to the core of their limiting beliefs, getting through habits that for whatever reason they don't know why they have, or they want to shed, or other new ones that they want to develop. We really want to help build an environment on all levels that fosters health, that fosters nutrition, that, and in my opinion, and we'll dive into this here, it all starts up here. It all starts with mentality and mindset. um, I've said this over and over again in all of my training and certifications and education and experience. It all started with, this is the fitness program, this is the diet program, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, you're like, oh yeah, people wind up thinking better and more positively. My philosophy is it all starts with mindset. That's where it all needs to start. So I would encourage you all, as you're listening to this content and as you begin to either develop your own business or try to fine tune what you're working on now, focus on mindset, focus on connecting the human to human aspect and just understanding what is going on in your client's head. It will save you so much time, so much frustration. I promise you. Okay. So let's dive in. Let's get started. I actually prepared some slides. We got a majority of the people here ready to rock and roll. So let's queue up and share the screen. Bear with me one second. How do I, my first time ever using technology. All right, share screen. Boom, there we go. All right, let's go to Keynote. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my window open here. I'm not going to do like the full screen of this presentation, because when I did this last time, I could not see the Q&A box, and I could not see the chat box. So it's not going to be as like polished as maybe someone else has done. So what we're going to do is just give you a little explanation, some key topics of what's going to be covered here. So again, this is the fundamentals of online coaching. Now, when I say online coaching, if you're in person, that's totally fine. If you never want to engage with someone outside of in the gym, that's totally fine. These are key concepts, obstacles, and successes that I went through, and in some ways I'm still going through, that can help a lot of people, can help save your sanity, and just some things that I wish maybe I knew better back then. So again, high level, not going super into detail tonight, but this is just the fundamentals of what I feel are the fundamentals. So we're going to be looking at, excuse me, we're going to be looking at how to make yourself stand out in a saturated market. And if you don't think that that this is a saturated market, you're in for a rude awakening. Creation and establishment of your business model. Attracting, selling, and retaining your ideal client. Crucial, crucial, crucial. Setting expectations. What will be tolerated as the coach, as a trainer, and what will be tolerated as a client, and what will not. Rates. One of the things I struggle with the longest, of just like, how much do I charge? What is this worth? What are other people charging? It really gets down to, what is your worth? More specifically, what is your value? Then we want to look at outreach versus engagement. These are two words that I have found have been used synonymously that are not the same thing. Okay. And then at the end, we want to be looking at what you're doing. Who's coaching you? Who's holding you accountable? How are you making sure that you are staying at the top of your game? Before we get started, I do see one question that just popped up. Katie, this is not a question. Katie, what's going on? Katie's actually one of my former coaches. She worked with me and for me. I was, we worked at the same company basically. So Katie, I'm glad you could join. What's going on? If you're just joining, Katie, the Q&A is just you and me, although I pretty much just ruined that aspect for you. But you know what? We're friends, so I can put you on blast. All right, so we're going to start off with who is this guy? Now, again, odds are if you're here, you already know me, but just to give you a little bit more expertise background, I'm an Army veteran, 6 years active duty, the most active job in the world. So I always count that as experience. I got my undergraduate in exercise science with a concentration in community health, master's in health promotion management with a concentration in nutrition. I since then have gone on to get a few different certifications. I had a group exercise certification. I never renewed that. I got my ACE certified health coach certification, TRX certified, as well. I have about 6 years plus in the corporate wellness, personal training, group training, concierge medicine, leadership management, all the above. So from like a professional standpoint, if you just thought I was a guy who made podcasts or film videos, I actually have some like expertise behind my name. What's up, boo? May just got back from yoga. She's putting some groceries away. You're good. And making noise. That's okay. Did we get another question pop up? Oh no, Katie, it's the same one. Okay. And I have been a full-time coach and trainer, mostly definitely all online. I've had like one or two in-person people I've helped train since this year. I left my job, left the corporate world in December 2017. So it's been going on 6 months now, and I haven't gotten evicted at my apartment yet. So we're holding strong, okay? So let's start with concept number one. Especially stepping into the online coaching world, I'm sure you can relate. Everybody and their brother is a freaking online trainer. You learned how to meal prep. You're a nutritionist. You got a 4-pack, maybe even a 6-pack. You're an online coach who helps people get summer shredded. If you hop on any social media feed, it's just going to be so oversaturated. I wouldn't really say it's a qualified saturation because most people, they just have experience, which I do believe is very valuable, but they don't have the expertise. They don't have the education. They don't have the skill sets necessary to truly help people change lives that they need to. So what you need to look at is, how are you different? Because I promise you, you are not a special snowflake, okay? You need to figure out exactly what makes you unique and why. And especially on the why, you need to have a why. You need to know why you are here. You need to have a strong, solidified why of what makes you different, how you're going to help people, going all the way back to the beginning of how this is the business of changing people's lives, because people will see through the bullshit. They will cut through. You're just in it for the buck. You're here to rip them off and never talk to them again and just take their money and give them a quick workout plan. What you need to do is figure out what makes you unique. One way that I found to do this in a very genuine way, of course, is to share what's called often the hero's story. So do you yourself have a dramatic extreme transformation? Have you gone from morbidly obese to a healthy weight? Did you suffer with an eating disorder or disordered eating? Have you fluctuated in your competitions? Have you gone from bikini to physique to a powerlifter? You know, what is your hero story? Where did you start? What were your struggles? What were your adversities? And how did you turn them into an advantage to better yourself, your health, your wellness, your fitness? Again, that mindset. These are all things that I have found have always helped convert interest into leads, into clients, into people that just stay with me for months and months and months and years and years. I have clients that I've been working with for years because you have that humanization aspect to you. So yes, growing a social media following is very important. We're not going to dive all into that, but you know, one of the quickest ways that I can tell you to be successful, to connect with people watching you, listening to you, engaging with you online, in person, is to have the hero story. Share your truth, share your transformation, share your struggles, because everybody has struggles. Okay. And again, kind of going back to the social media stuff, just because you can do something, maybe you are really, really, really good at it, does not mean you are automatically qualified to teach others. Now, I say this is a great way to progress into teaching, to progress into coaching, to progress into being a trainer. But you know, you need to recognize and respect that place where you are. if people are coming to you and you're sharing workouts, sharing meal plans, sharing whatever, recognize that this is a learning experience as much for you as it is for them, because they're coming to you as an expert. And the last thing you want to do is pretend to be someone that you're not and put up false expectations, which we're going to get to in a second. So recognize that people may be coming to you, or you may be approaching other people, but use that as a learning experience to help them, but also to help solidify yourself of what you want to do with this skill set and really channel how you've had this much success. Okay. Also, degrees versus experience versus certifications. Overall, I say that experience trumps everything, but I do believe, and I've seen, especially in the corporate world, and even nowadays on the entrepreneurial side and being your own brand, um, experience is great, but get a damn certification, get something under your belt, get an associate's degree, get a group exercise certification, go to a weekend class, whatever. That will just honestly save your ass in the long run. It opens the doors for a lot of opportunities and networking. You can get really cheap liability insurance. So I would say experience trumps everything, but after that, find some way to quote unquote make yourself an expert on paper. Okay. Up next. So this is something that I honestly still struggle with a little bit. We've gotten a lot better with it in terms of what Everforward Coach has to offer and how we operate. But stepping into the fitness space, the coaching space, particularly online, your business model is very, very tricky. You need to figure out right now, is this a side hustle? Am I just enjoying this on the side, after hours, before hours, whatever, with just me? Or maybe you have something so unique, a product or a service or an app or an online platform or something that is so unique that you can tell right now it would be in your best interest and in your client's best interest to begin to delegate, to get other people to help you. So are you an individual? Are you a team? Think with the end in mind. What is going to help set you up for the most success now, versus trying to do it all on your own in the next 30 days or 6 months? You're like gasping for air. All right. Do you want to do this part-time or full-time? That's totally okay. Do you want to just have a side hustle, or do you want to grow this? Do you want to scale it to a point to where this will be your main source of income? If that's the case, then that's going to be one of the biggest things to help determine your current rate. Not to like cut your value down at all, but if it is just part-time, then you can set a part-time rate, because that is going to help you show up in a part-time manner. You're not going to be resenting clients because you could be making X amount of money, but just honor and respect the agreement that you have made as a part-time trainer, as a part-time coach, as a part-time mentor, whatever, so that it helps set the expectation for what you are going to offer and what your clients, your friends, whatever they're going to receive. Okay. Then we can get all the way into, what are these automated sequences that can help you once you begin to scale? Have you ever heard of an email sequence? Do you know what a click funnel is? I want to take a quick pause right here. I want to go to the chat and, oh man, can I even see the chat on this? Where's my chat? If you guys could, in this business model stuff, give me a 1 if you use any of these like email sequences, click funnels, whatever, or give me a 2 if it's all if it's all automated right now. If you were the person answering every email, every DM, whatever, or 1 if you are finding success in using click funnels, using email sequences, just so you kind of get an estimate of where everybody is. Okay, yeah, so it's all you. A lot of 2s coming in. I would honestly say that that's still the way that I operate. The only gray area around that is that, luckily we've been growing to a point now where I have help. A couple of my coaches oversee certain aspects of the business. I have an assistant, someone going through a college education needing internship hours. So I would still say that the personal touch is always the best. People always want to engage with a human being. But if you can find a way to mesh technology and automatic responses and just maybe like notification systems, but still kind of be governed by and operated by a human, I think that's kind of like the best. It's the best way to mesh the two. And again, that's one way that we've found with our technology, with our app, to kind of just provide technology, but with the human touch. And I would say when looking at your business model, one of the best ways to figure out, well, I don't even know what the hell a business model is, or I don't even know how I'm operating, is to look at someone that is doing what the hell you want to do. So if you are trying to be an online coach, or you already are, I know without a doubt that you're following some Twitter account, some Instagram account of someone or multiple people that already do it full time. Most likely, right? Can I get an amen up in here? um, what I would encourage you to do, and one thing that has worked well for me, thanks Jake for the amen, is to just look at them, not from a like, oh, I wish I could be them, or try to like copy their methods, but if you connect with them on this level, you just want to follow them, you're giving them your time, giving them your energy, then you probably find value in how they operate their business. So, look at their lifestyle, look at their post frequency, look at their, what type of images they put up, what quotes they put up, what wording, do they do short captions, long captions? Do they have social media at all? So I would say one way to really figure out, well, what business model do I have right now, or which one do I want to try to develop, is to look at the people that you already connect with the most and try to reverse engineer a little bit. I'm going to pause real quick. We got a question. Okay. Actually, this is pretty pertinent. Jake asked, regarding certifications, I went through Amanda Bucci's FOCA certification program and continue to educate myself every day. I feel confident in my ability to be a good coach and confidence in the knowledge/experience that I possess. Do you feel that it would be necessary to obtain a recognized certification, aka accredited? Now, I can personally tell you, because I am really good friends with Amanda, and I talk to her a lot about what she's doing with FOCA. And I believe in it. I think it's a great program, and I know that you got great content, great value out of that. Now, the thing with being accredited is that it just takes X amount of time or X amount of people to go through any program before it gets accredited. So when you look at like ACSM, CSCS, ACE, all of those started the exact same way, pretty much as Amanda's program, FOCA. And then they had X amount of people go through the program, X amount of time under their belt, and then it got accredited. Where I feel, I'll play devil's advocate, where maybe that's where it could potentially hurt you, is just that it's not accredited, or maybe that many people haven't quite heard about it yet. So they would be like, well, what's that? Excuse me. But where it is helping you is that I know she has built-in curriculum that most other programs don't, if not all, like the online aspect. It is a program built for the digital age. It is a modern program. So I think that is a great thing for you to leverage. So I would say the best way to use the FOCA certification that you have is to begin to, if you haven't already, reach out to people that maybe you can see online already follow Amanda, or already follow, I'm having a brain fart and I forgot her trainer guy's name that helped build the program. Because they're already going to know who she is, what she does, and they're going to know about FOCA most likely. So they're already going to engage with it. Yeah, Will, thank you. So I would say that would be a great way to kind of maybe focus your attention and try to pull leads, pull clients maybe from people who already know about it. Yeah, actually, I'd be happy to talk to you more about that later on. Amanda puts out a lot of great content, but I would say definitely continue on with the self-education. And that's the last thing we're going to talk about at the end of all this. But also getting an accredited certification, it can't hurt you. It can't, flat out just can't hurt you. Just be a matter of how much more time and money you want to put into it. Okay. All right. Now, so let me move this guy. Okay, your ideal client. This is going to be one of the things that saves you the most time and stress. One of the mistakes that I made early on, it was a necessary mistake, because I was very, very much in my infancy of trying to get enough clientele to leave my full-time job. I was taking everybody. I was taking anyone who like, hey, I don't know what a fruit is. Hey, I need to lose weight. And I was like, yes, I can help you. I can help you. And I was lowballing the hell out of my value. And so the problem with that is that if you start taking on everybody, of course, again, we're in the business of helping people. We want to help everybody. So it's not a bad thing, but just know where you are in your business. This is about setting you up for success more so than helping a particular person. You do not want to try to serve everyone. I promise you, I made that mistake. You will try. You may succeed for a while, but you will begin to resent those clients. You will begin to resent your original agreement of showing up, because you're finding that you're giving way more of your time. You are worth way more. And then you're going to have to like oh shit, I got to break up with this client. Or maybe I've gotten a new client that I'm doing the exact same thing for, but they pay me double. How is that going to make you show up the same way for the client that's, paying you 50% less? So what you need to do is you need to attract your ideal client. And one way, there's a worksheet I have coming up next that I'll show you guys real quick, is that you need to know them so damn well. You need to know their age, their sex, their nationality, their job, their culture, their obstacles, all these things you see right here. You need to have this person created so well in your head that you can draw them out. You can even do a damn Google search for them. You get, maybe that's a little creepy, but that way, if you know the type of person that you can best help, you know who to go look for. You know where they're hanging out. You know which Instagram accounts they're following. You know which stores they shop in. You know which aisle they're going to be in the grocery store. If you get so specific on which type of person you know you can help the most, you know what they look like, where to find them, and how to best serve them, how to meet them where they are, and more importantly, how to get them where they want to be, even if they don't know where that is right yet. Lastly, be one step ahead of them as to what is holding them back from committing on or progressing further. If you know them so well, you already know what problems they have now, which problems they're going to have next week, next month, next year. And that just helps you add so much more value on a regular basis. It helps you plan their nutrition, their workouts, their lifestyle, their engagement. How often do you need to be checking in with them? Because if they're a stay-at-home mom, they probably don't have as much engagement capability because they're watching their kids versus someone maybe who works like a customer service job or something, who has just free time all the time. So know your client. This will help you in the future not resent them, but also you know exactly who to go look for, where to find them, and how to best serve them. Okay. So let's roll right on to next slide. This is an ideal client template that I personally use, that I use a lot with my coaches, all the EF coach staff, something that can just help you get so specific and figuring out your ideal client. This is just, it's a no-brainer. It is one of the best tools and resources that I found, and that helps my coaches find their ideal clients. And whenever I share this with other people, it's just like, it clears all the bullshit. It sifts through everybody that we try to help and helps your ideal client rise to the top. If you're interested in that, just maybe throw up a 1 in the chat box. That way I know this is wanted, and I can email this out to you guys or share it with you guys afterwards or something. Wow, everybody. Okay, cool. All right, now once you have attracted your ideal client, this is crucial. What you want to do is you want to set the expectations. You must establish expectations from the beginning, or the client will. Now, depending on, I don't care if you found them or they found you, what you need to do is, first of all, in a, of course, polite, professional way, in a humanized way, you need to establish yourself as a professional. There always needs to be a little bit of that kind of hierarchy of like, like, not to sound rude, but like you're the boss and they're, your employee kind of thing. But because they will be reporting to you in a way. And so there always needs to be a little bit of that hierarchy, but you're going to know how to best engage with your clients more than I could ever recommend, because you are you and they are them, and you know how to work together. So from the beginning, what does it mean to set expectations? What am I talking about? Well, from a high level point, this is just simply what the hell is included in your services? What is not? Like, hey, working with me means you're going to get daily workouts, weekly meal prep, and a monthly webinar. Well, if you say that from the get-go and they come to you and ask, hey, when can we meet in person? I want to work out in person. Or my friend wants to hop on the phone call with me. Can we coach together? It's going to clear the clutter from the very beginning. So what's included in your services, what is not, and that you can develop a form, you can develop like a checklist, a client readiness form, whatever you want to call it. You can just, again, tell them what they will be receiving from you, what you are expecting from them. How are you going to communicate? This is very, very important. Now, this day and age, being an online coach specifically, your phone, this can turn into a digital leash. It is such a slippery slope. It can be a trap, and you want to be there the most for your client. I know, I get it. I've been there. I still am with a few people. And so like, you want to give them your email, your phone number, like call me, text me, FaceTime, whatever. And hey, If that's how you operate, that's fine. If that's the level of accountability and connection that your client needs, then I would encourage you, I would challenge you to set that expectation from the beginning of like, hey, we're going to be working via text message and like Skype only. But if it's an absolute emergency, not, text me 911 and I'll call you, whatever parameter, whatever horrible situation you could think of where like they need to get a hold of you instead of them just blowing you up and you ignoring them. And then there's this frustration built up with each other. If you set that expectation from the beginning, then you are setting you up for success. You're setting them up for success. One way that we alleviate this problem with EF Coach is we work directly through our own app. Our app has direct messaging capabilities. It works through SMS. We basically text all of our clients through their app so that we don't have to be giving out our phone numbers to everybody. It's all messages in real time, and it's all HIPAA compliant. So if there's anyone worried about like, well, who's going to see my message, or what if my notification pops up? Well, it's good. It's all built in, so only you see it, only the client sees it. How are you going to bill? Subscription. Because if you don't, people aren't going to pay you. I promise. Even if you have like this sweet old lady who would never do anything wrong in her entire life, she's going to miss the email. She's going to miss the text. She's going to go traveling, get shitty cell service. You're going to not get the invoice done when you need to. And especially if you're scaling to the point where this is your livelihood, like me right now, I don't have a salary. I need all my clients to pay me at a certain time. So I use PayPal, or all of our coaching businesses run through PayPal. And it's all on a subscription basis. So basically, from the beginning, it was like whenever they signed up, it was just 30 days later, it automatically billed. But again, you'll quickly learn that you want to know when and how much money you have coming in, especially again, if this is full time. So I now have all of our coaching clients, my personal clients, they all run on the 15th. So the 15th of every month, all my clients are on an automatic renewal basis, super easy, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And the last thing I'll say about setting expectations is to not make promises you cannot keep. Rather, set the intention and explain that the process of this relationship, of working together, of coaching, of training, whatever, far outweighs the prize that you may be working on. And if you set an intent instead of setting a promise, an intention is much more visceral. It has feeling behind it. It is a way for you to just communicate with your clients so much more effectively than just by saying, I promise you without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to get you shredded. We're going to lose 100 pounds if they have that much weight to lose. Because then if they're not compliant, if you made that promise, then you're the one that's looking like the idiot. Then you're the one that has to come up with all the reasons as to, justify why you did everything right and why maybe they didn't follow everything that you said. But if you set an intention of like, hey, we are going to be so close. We are going to help your day-to-day life. We are going to help your nutrition. We are going to help bring awareness to all of these key areas of your life so that this goal that you have of being able to figure out how to work out and go see your kid's soccer game, so that this goal of losing weight, gaining weight, developing confidence, that is much more likely. Intention over promise every day. I'm going to pause real quick, get another question. Okay, since we're on the subject here, is the PayPal subscription automatic charging, or does it just send out the invoice and then the client pays it? It is automatic billing. Now you can do a lot of different things with PayPal billing. You can send out like monthly reminders for invoices, whatever. But how I operate, how EF Coach operates, it is all automatic. So let's say, and Ida, I apologize if I'm butchering your name, but let's say you hired me to coach right now. We would sign up on the 29th. Automatically, the 29th of next month, it would just be automatically drafted from your account. Now, that's another part of the expectation. You have to share that with the person, because the last thing you want is to have an awkward conversation when maybe like their credit card bounces or their debit card's overdrafted or whatever. Just set the billing expectation from the beginning as well. So say, hey, you know what? One way that I can just make sure that we don't waste each other's time, or actually, no, don't say that. I don't like that. just so that we can effectively communicate and work together, I'm going to set this up so that each month it's already taken care of. You just pay once. If you need to work out like a certain day, maybe they're like, can it be the second of every month? Can it be the 15th? Can it be the first? That's going to be between you two. But yes, with PayPal subscription billing, the day that they pay, every 30 days or 60 days or a week or however you set up your billing, you can choose that. It automatically goes out. Boom. All right, rolling right along. Let's pause and take a quick in the chat box. Give me a 1 if you're getting this, if we're moving at a good pace, or give me a 2 if Chase, wow, you talk way too much, you need to slow down. All right. Again, this is all meant to be a high level. I'm not getting too into the details, but just some key concepts that have helped me. We're moving right along. Okay, cool. Yes, I am drinking a beer because health. Okay, now setting rates. This is one area that I struggled with probably the longest, especially when I was in my job of scaling my side hustle into something that I wanted to be full-time. How much do I charge? What are other people charging? What am I doing differently? Am I worth this price? Do I feel bad for charging this much for somebody? That you're going to go through all those emotions. I promise you, you're going to go through all those processes. But what I would recommend first is to just look at some simple market analysis. If you're an in-person trainer, what do other gyms charge? What do other boutique private trainers charge? Call them up. I literally did this in my last job. I called up in like a 10-mile radius, other gyms, boutique fitness centers. It's like pretending like I wanted to be a new client. I was like, hey, how much is an hour? Hey, how much if I buy a 6-month package, a 1-month package? Then also would look online. What are other online coaches offering? What are they giving as far as their services and their value, and how much does that cost? And then look at, what are my credentials? How long have I been doing it? How confident am I in my skills? And if that's in alignment with a lot of these other price points, then at least start there for sure. One other caveat I will say that most people don't know about, which I kind of get into down here, offsetting the pain point of cost, is that this can help set your price point too, is looking at what insurance carriers, what insurance providers will reimburse you for. A big pain point that I found that was able to be offset by a lot of my clients, if they had a medical necessity, that's what an LMN is, a letter of medical necessity. If they are obese, morbidly obese, pre-diabetic, diabetic, if hypercholesterolemia, did I say that right? Hypercholesterolemia? Hyperlipidemia. It's always good to have a nurse in the house. She can correct your terms. All right. If they have high cholesterol, basically, if they have any chronic illness, physical disease, any medical condition that would be offset, be made better by working with you, the fitness professional, the nutritionist, the health coach, the personal trainer, all they need to do is go to their doctor, have them fill out what's called a letter of medical necessity, and then all that money that they spend on you is reimbursable depending upon their health insurance plan. Most plans these days, people have a great plan. What's going on in my hair? They have a solid FSA or HSA, a flex spending account or health savings account, where services like what we offer, what I have to provide, what most of you have to provide, they find value in that. And the insurance companies will reimburse into their FSA or HSA because it helps save them money, basically. Because if you help them lose weight, if they get off their cholesterol medication, if they no longer have to have a blood pressure monitor, these are all things that in the long term help make them healthier, then you will get reimbursed. That money will go back into their HSA or FSA account. That's also a really good price point to figure out, because I found out my last job, everything that I offered in a 1-hour session, the insurance company was reimbursing every one of our patients $225. So they value me at $225 an hour. Why shouldn't I be $225 an hour? Now, I can't charge that much right now. Full disclosure, my hourly rate is $150. If a client wants to work with me, just flat out, it's $150 an hour. Now, why I can't charge that much, well, why I don't charge that much, in theory, you can charge whatever you want, I guess, is because in that hour session, my last job, we were doing baseline exercise physiology testing. So they were in-house with me for an hour, We did body composition analysis machine. We did treadmill testing, sub max VO2 testing. So there are certain things that have a value that I just don't offer right now. So figure out what insurance companies value as and go from there. Moving right along, outreach versus engagement. Okay, this is where I think a lot of people go wrong in that assuming that they are the same thing. Reaching out to someone, sending an email, sending a text, putting someone on your email list, Instagram bots, whatever, that does not equal engagement. Some people, that's just annoying the hell out of them. Okay. So this is really where being discerning and knowing your ideal client, if you know them that well, you know the best time to communicate with them. You know on which platform. Should I text them? Should I email them? Should I tag them in something on social media? You know how best they're going to receive information. You know if that is going to be engaging for them or if it's just going to be like a blast. Okay. This is really where knowing that ideal client, you need to know which stage of change they're in. And for all my other health coaches and health promotion people out there, you know the trans theoretical model of change. So many different health behavior models out there. You know, you need to know, are they in pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, or maintenance? You know, where are they in their mindset? Have they even recognized that they're morbidly obese and by just walking up the stairs every day can add up to helping them lose 10 pounds a year? You know, where are they in that stage of change? Because knowing that, that is going to help direct you and better serve you, your time, and your resources on how to communicate with them, on which platform, which mediums, and save yourself a lot of frustration because you can be like, well, damn, like I emailed that group like 3 times last week and, you know, out of 50 people, one person got back to me. Well, maybe all the rest of them weren't ready. Maybe all the rest of them don't check email, but you would have had a higher success rate if you DM'd them or you went door to door. You know, who knows? You need to figure out where they are on their readiness to change. What I was just describing was, you know, outreach, messaging, reminders, emails, all these things that you can just do to put your name and your services out there versus engagement. Specifically, I'm talking about sharing and asking open-ended questions, things that are going to help people feel more inclined to respond or want to respond instead of just being like blasting an email like, hey, here's the workout of the day and here's my website, you know, you should buy my coaching package. Or asking, you know, hey, it's the end of May, beginning of June. What are you struggling with most right now in preparing for all this time off with your kids? If you live in like a more rural area, you know, knowing that parents' schedules about to be a lot more full because they have kids at home, you know, asking more questions, getting so specific. Again, going back to your ideal clients can help you develop these questions to put out there, to leave it more open for engagement, asking specific things that they have to or feel more inclined to reply to. No more questions. Let's move right along. Damn, run out of time. So now that we have attracted your ideal client, you know how to effectively reach out to them, how to effectively engage with them. You need to know how to retain them. It is way less stressful and much more lucrative to retain a client long term than to constantly be searching for new clients. So you need to be looking at your communication. Specifically, are you over communicating? I have one client comes to mind right now that I know she's very, very busy. She's a small business owner. She owns several dental practices. And so honestly, if I reach out to her more than twice a week, it's hopeless. It's pointless. So like, I know her schedule at this point. I know exactly which day and which time to reach out to her. You know, some people just need, again, going back to that readiness to change, you know, how much external accountability do they need? They need to be reminded a lot more often than other people. Others, as they move through that readiness to change, maybe more into maintenance, all they need is just like a weekly reminder, like, hey, you know, have a kick-ass workout or travel safe, or hey, just a reminder that from our coach call last week, this is what we're working on. They just need little cues, little reminders. They don't need you kind of holding their hand along the way. Also, the best way to retain your client is to, when you set the expectations initially in that initial client consultation or whatever, don't like cheat and like undersell yourself or whatever. But, you know, definitely the old adage of under promise and over deliver goes a long way. It all comes down to value. What are your clients' unique needs? What specifically are they going through the most right now? And again, going back to knowing your ideal client so well, what are they most likely going to be suffering from? What are going to be their obstacles? What I can't talk. What are their successes going to be? You can kind of begin to foresee what you need to prepare for, how to communicate with them. Do they have a birthday coming up? Do they have a holiday, an anniversary? Do they celebrate different religious holidays than you? Maybe you want to send them a gift or a cool e-card or something. These are the things, again, that go back to what I was talking about in the beginning, that humanization aspect. They know, they feel that you care, that you are in it for the long haul. You are in it to help them become a better human being, a better person. The version of themselves that they know is down there deep. They just need help getting it pulled out versus just another paycheck. Okay. Also, one other quick tip is to share the wealth. Don't always try to come off as the expert, because you are not. Nutrition, fitness, health psychology, these are fields that are always, daily, constantly changing. What we thought was cool or healthy last year or 10 years ago, we now know to be shit, and if you've been in the business longer than a day, you know what I'm talking about. So constantly be learning on your own and constantly be sharing. What are things that are helping you the most? Refer a podcast out to them, send them a book, or hey, maybe they're in the accounting business. Look up accounting retreats or accounting seminars in their immediate area, and send a link their way. Not like overextend yourself, but just go above and beyond. Share what works for you and what maybe will work for them. Now, getting towards the end here, like I was just saying towards the end of the last slide, you always need to be advancing yourself. You always need to know your strengths, but also your weaknesses, where you have areas for sustainment and areas for improvement, to kind of echo my old Army terms. So going back to our old after action review. Have you done your own work? Are you staying a student? What are you doing to always be learning something new every day? Because again, in this industry, fitness, nutrition, health psychology, epidemiology, whatever, things are always changing. And what I learned in school and undergraduate and even my master's program, I graduated a year ago. I'm learning things that are even different now. So the last thing you want to do is be stuck in your old ways, stuck in your own education, and then pass that down to your clients. Also, your clients are always going to be on Google University and talking to Dr. WebMD. So you need to be ready for the most current literature, the most current studies, staying aware of what's going on so that you don't look like an idiot when they come to you with questions, okay? And I also wholeheartedly believe with this statement right here, if you take nothing else from this slide, is pay attention to this. You cannot effectively help others become their true and authentic selves until you have. The whole part of this process, one of the main reasons why I'm sharing all this content, my struggles, is that if I had to boil it all down as to what I struggled with the most and what was my biggest throttle in getting started with this business sooner, or maybe even scaling it a little bit more, was I was still stuck in my limiting beliefs. I didn't really know my value. I wasn't sure how much I was worth. I didn't know if I was going to be good enough. I didn't know if people found true value in what I was giving them. I had this job, but when you try to do it yourself, you have to be everything for yourself. You have to sell yourself, market yourself, be human resources, accounting. You have to do all these things. So you have to truly and authentically know who you are, know your worth, know what you know what you don't know, because that is going to be the biggest thing that comes across in the coach-client relationship, okay? And like I said in the beginning, we are in this business to help people become the best versions of themselves. Like we say, to help others live a life ever forward. And you can't do that until you have at least started on your path of doing that and continue to work on that aspect. Another thing is the legality. You have to be advancing yourself professionally with continuing education credits, especially once you get a certification. You don't want that to lapse. So going to seminars, going to expos, taking online quizzes, things like that, getting your CECs, your continuing education credits. These are all things that you just need to stay on top of. Also, who's keeping you accountable? Do you have like a local business, people in the same business? Do you know another trainer, another online coach? Who can help you along this process? Who can you bounce ideas off of? Do you have a peer, a mentor, a coach? You always need to be held accountable to someone. I don't work with her on the same regular basis that I used to, but I still check in with my coach probably once or twice a month at this point. I used to work with her every week for months. So even the coaches have coaches. The best coaches, the best trainers have other coaches and trainers. Um, some of the other resources that have helped me the most and help Everforward Coach continue to grow and scale. Course and Partial podcast. A few that I can recommend in terms of business and fitness and just constant education is the MFCEO project with Andy Frisella, the Model Health Show with Sean Stevenson, and then it's in the microwave. Mind Pump, big fans of Mind Pump guys. And of course, we've already mentioned Amanda Bucci. Hers, Bucci Radio, is top marks. Books. If I had to give 3 book recommendations for the current or aspiring fitness professional, it would be these. Brendan Burchard's High Performance Habits is just like the best self-coaching book on how to be a better coach. His experience, he's one of the most sought after, most highly paid high performance coaches in the world. Like even Oprah goes to this guy. So that should tell you something. And then 2 books by Ryan Holiday. The Obstacle is the Way is just a great book at looking at obstacles and overcoming them, turning adversities into advantages, which is a great way to kind of just get ideas and how to help your clients out when they get to a sticking point or a plateau or maybe something in your own personal life. And then Perennial Seller is another book of his that came out about a year or so ago on just best ways to create a product or service that just lasts the ages. Because you don't want to be hot right now. You don't want to have a business right now. You want to create something and establish relationships with clients that are evergreen, that are long lasting. Okay. And lastly, coming under the wire, we got like 10 minutes, a little bit less. Some some other resources. So Everforward Coach, we have a team of coaches that work one-on-one and in groups, online and in person with clientele, people looking to lose weight, gain weight, personal development, professional development. But another aspect of our business is this. We coach the coaches. I have been leading all along this whole year a group of people that we set their goal. We are scaling their business, growing their business, going from a side hustle to a full-time thing, figuring out and getting clarity on their most important goal, the most important aspect of their business or their life, how to accomplish it. And we're doing that as a group, as well as one-on-one coaching. So we do offer group mentorship, the coach experience, like I said. This is, in one-on-one business coaching, personal development. If we can help pay it forward in any way of helping other people serve others, extend this ripple effect of getting your business started, scaling it part-time, full-time, getting out of your current job, in person and online, all these things we have learned over the years, we definitely feel can help bring value to other people. So that's another aspect of what EF Coach has to offer. So we got about 6 minutes left. So what I'll do is I'll stop this share and I'll just leave this open for Q&A. If you guys and girls have any other questions, please feel free to just leave it in the Q&A box. Anything maybe you want me to expand upon or go back to in the slides, I'd be happy to do that. Just let me know. Anything around attracting clients, communication, scaling your business, online platforms, things like that. So got quite a handful of people on here. Let me open up the chat box here. Why am I just not seeing like all these ones? I don't know, Zoom's lagging. If you do have a question, go ahead and ask it in the Q&A box and let me know. The chat box is open too. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Chris asks, what is the best platform to start a website on? Honestly, they're all great. You can open a website on Wix. You can use one on GoDaddy. What's another common one? Shopify. Honestly, like, if I had to give one piece of business advice right now, like if you're trying to launch your coaching business online, don't worry about a website, man. Like there are so many other free avenues and platforms like social media. I know people run their entire business off of Instagram. They don't even have a website. I would say, get your footing, get some clients, get some experience, get some people that you can help out, and, see what you have and, figure out their needs, see how you're engaging with them, and then, build a website from there. Yeah, websites can be cool. You can use it to like share content or direct people to, but I wouldn't say it's super necessary right now. But you can just Google website builder and you can have one done in like an hour. So you don't even need a web guy anymore. Yeah. We have a website. Our main channel is through our app. That's how we work with all of our clients. The app is definitely more expensive than a website. That's something that we invested in because we found value in being, having our clients be able to walk around in our pocket. Um, yeah. One thing, while I got you guys on, I'll go back to the screen share and just so you can see what it looks like for the coach side of things on EF Coach. This, if for those of you who don't know, we have a health tracker app. It's free for anyone to download. It's called EF Coach on iOS and Android. Also, or I should say, the big highlight here is that what the coach's platform is. So this is the coach's platform. We have a list of our clients over here. This is our dummy account. This is me. So you can see the coach gets a screenshot, high level of so many things. Their overall total score, basically, how often are they logging in? What are they logging? Are they doing things that are conducive towards a healthy lifestyle? What's their activity, water intake, sleep. We can even dive deeper into syncing wearables or tracking things through their smartphone. Do they have an Apple Watch? Do they have a Fitbit, a Garmin, a Jawbone? We can look at workouts. We can look at daily step count. It's just a great way for us to keep eyes on our clients in the background, in between sessions, in between workouts, in between coach calls. We are always working for them in the background. They can log their weight. We can track sleep. If you log your sleep or set your alarm through the bedtime portion on your iPhone, this automatically syncs over through Apple Health. We also are compatible with a few different body composition analyzers. You can measure body fat mass, percentage body fat. Also, with the updates from Apple Health, we can look at getting your blood pressure and blood glucose, which is very, very helpful for people. Like I have one client we worked on just, helping her get off her medication. She was pre-hypertensive, so we got her blood pressure down. If you work with pre-diabetics or diabetics, like I was saying earlier about people who maybe they get that letter of medical necessity, you can work with them. You can just focus on blood glucose. This is our messaging component. So I messaged myself earlier, said, hey, good luck on the webinar tonight, coach. So this is where we keep track with all of our messages. It is in real time. Also, when we have like a coach call or consultation with people, we have our private note section over here. So it's just basically a one-stop shop. We can run all of our reports daily, weekly, monthly from people, all of our private notes. We can schedule alerts. So like, hey, if I know you're doing like a 5K race this weekend, it kicks off at 6 a.m. I can message you at 5:30 a.m. says good luck. I can set it to go off daily, weekly, whatever. Again, going back to that client engagement, I use this a lot to schedule alerts. When I know it's my client's birthday or anniversary, just to continue to add value. So that's just a great way how EF Coach works. We even get a high level look of their screen on their app, so we can make this as little or as much as they want. If they're kick-ass at nutrition, we don't need to worry about that at all. We just can completely take that off the tracker. Boom, nutrition completely gone on their screen. This is real time. I tell myself, Chase, eat only one cake pop a day. You can add motivational messages, hyperlink, directly send them their workouts here. Custom trackers, if you want it to be quantitative or qualitative. Morning heart rate, if you want to ask a question. You can be a counter or a question. A lot of great, cool things here. So we're really, really proud of our app, and honestly, it's unparalleled. It's the best way where technology meets the humanization aspect. So that's what EF Coach is all about. All right, got another question. Oh wow, a few questions. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. What is the first step to take to cover yourself in a legal standpoint? The first step a coach should take before taking in any clients? Do we need a lawyer or anything like that? Really good question. No, I would say if I had to boil it down, the best thing you can do to cover your ass is to make sure you have liability insurance. Now, if you are accredited, if you're like an ACE personal trainer, ACSM or whatever, a lot of those organizations have liability insurance. You can buy directly through them. Like I'm accredited through ACE, $1 million liability insurance plan. I think it's like less than $100 a year, if that. So to cover your ass no matter what, I would say get yourself a liability insurance plan. And I would also recommend $1 million. It sounds like a lot of money, but honestly, it's pretty industry standard. You don't need a lawyer or anything like that. Again, just being clear in the expectations from the beginning. Do not make any promises. Do not make any health claims if you do not have the resources to back them. Honestly, I would say just stay away from making promises altogether, because that can come back to bite you. Also, full disclosure, industry falsity. The only person who can tell you, that can really give you like, eat this for breakfast, eat this for lunch, don't eat that, do eat this, is a registered dietitian. And there is no such thing as a nutritionist. Yes, there are nutrition experts, but the only person who has the legal authority to tell people eat this, don't eat that, is a registered dietitian. So watch out, watch your ass. Don't be telling people exactly what to eat or what not to eat. Always refer off of, federal guidelines, or, say, hey, this is within healthy parameters, or based upon your basal metabolic rate, or based upon your baseline food log. We can go from here to there. But once you start saying, this is what you must do, this is what you can't do, no, unless you're an RD, that's actually illegal. Yeah, asking about an LLC or need a disclaimer. Honestly, I have an LLC. I made an LLC. It's more beneficial at this point now, because this is what I do full time, and it is a great, safe way to cover your ass on the business standpoint. But if right now you have a full-time job or part-time job, and you're just starting to take on some clients on the side, no, you don't need an LLC. Technically, legally speaking, any extra income that you get, whether you have an LLC or not, has to be reported on your taxes at the end of the year. Just be reported as supplemental income. Yeah, but no, you don't need all that stuff. So it's past time, 9:03. I'll still hang on if anybody has any interests or questions. Let me go back to the Q&A. All right, so I got a question here. As someone who is not currently in the health and fitness industry already, where would you recommend that I start? Certification, social media following? Really good question. So to that, I would say, like a common approach I have to a lot of my coaching is, start with the end in mind. What is it that you want to accomplish? You asked getting a certification versus a social media following. Do you want to just be a fitness influencer? Then start growing your social media account. Do you want to be a more highly respected professional? Then get a certification. Now, I will say that they both kind of help each other. They both feed each other, but just start with the end in mind. What in the long term is your most important thing to accomplish? And then start with that. So I would say, if you are more focused on helping people, being a trainer, being a coach, then the certification, the education is always going to outweigh a social media following. Now, if you do grow a social media following and you just get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers, you're going to have people that give you their money no matter what, just because they believe in you. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing. But I would say that it will take you less time and resources, most likely, to get a certification than to get your social media to a following to where people just buy whatever you sell. Another question is, how many clients should an online coach expect to support once they have built their panel? Great question. Now, this goes back to, what expectation have you set from the beginning? Now, are you an online coach that is like, hey, I'm all in, I'm giving you 100% of me, you have me 25/8, so to speak. Then, if that's the case and you are just really getting down to the nitty gritty with them, then I recommend keeping your clientele list to, pretty small. Honestly, this is just because I have so many other projects going on with the podcast and Everforward as a brand and just life. I don't take on more than 10 clients. Now my coaching, like I said, is a little bit more high level. I no longer take on clients that are like, what's a squat? What's a vegetable? I work with people that, yes, fitness and nutrition is a big part of that, but I'm much more the mindset development, personal development. Like I said before, my rate is much higher. And so I keep my clientele list smaller, so that because when I do coach them, we're on the phone for an hour at least, every week, sometimes a couple times a week. It is a lot more draining, not in a negative way, but I am giving to them a lot more of me. And I can't do that. I can't spread myself so thin. So I would say, know the expectation you set from the beginning. What type of coach are you going to be for them? How much engagement, how much communication do you want to offer? Or are they expecting? And so if it's really high level like that, then, keep it to a minimum, charge a higher ticket, charge a higher price, but keep your clientele lower. If you want to just be like, hey, I'm going to send you a workout a week, a meal plan a week, based upon your nutritional needs or whatever. And, one midweek check-in, you can realistically have dozens, if not, 100 clients doing that, because it doesn't really take a whole lot. You can just send the same workout to a group of people. Maybe if you have 20 people that are like, I need an at-home workout, then you just create one at-home workout, send it to those 20 people. So it all comes down to, what are the expectations you set for yourself? Are you part-time with this? Are you full-time with this? How much time and resources do you want to give? How do you want to market yourself? What are you promising to your clients? Before you even have anyone sign up with you, what are you putting out there? What are they coming to you with the expectation of receiving as your coach, as your client? So I can also say one other thing, why we invested so much in this technology with EF Coach, our coaching platform. Each coach account can effectively manage up to 300 clients. Now, I would never recommend to any of my coaches having 300 clients, but hey, if we had like 200 people sign up, and we're working on like a corporate deal, for example, we're going to have like 400 clients. And all we need to do is just do one webinar a month with them, and, send a workout a week. Then yeah, I can handle like 200 clients. No big deal. It's just sit down for a couple hours, one day a week, boom, knock it out. One more question. Let's keep going. Would it be okay to have such a niche clientele? I'm interested in helping the older demographic, 50 plus, increase their health and wellness going into the golden years. No, not at all. Like, honestly, I would say even get more specific than that, get even more niche than that. You want to work with 55 to 65-year-olds, people that are about to retire or just getting into retirement, that suffer from osteoporosis. Literally, there's no wrong way to get so specific with your niche market, because that is going to help you figure out where they are, what they need, how you can help them. And also getting so specific in that, like, exactly, okay, I need to get this certification, I need to get more educated in this. So no, I would say it's not a problem. I guess more specifically to answer your question, yes, it is okay to have a niche clientele. Absolutely. I did see a question pop up over here in the chat box. Let me go back. Why can't I see this? Oh, how do you become a coach for EF? Good question. So as of right now, I technically have 8 coaches. 7. One of them, he's going a different route. Just life's getting in the way. So EF Coach has grown to a point now where I need to focus more on growing the business, growing Everforth Coach with the coaches and clientele we do have, and making sure we're continuing to offer the best value to them before taking on devoted Everforth coaches. Right now, that's just what I'm working on right now. It's not the end all be all, but I can also say that one other avenue that I'm seeing a need for is that people who are wanting to grow their own brand, they don't want to like, hey, like, Chase, you're cool and all, like Everforth's cool, but like, I'm growing my own brand. I'm growing my own logo. I want to do my own thing. Then we're actually beginning to offer our technology, offer our coaching platform to those people. Like, I wouldn't bring you on board as being, hey, you are now an Everforth coach. I'm going to promote you. I'm going to give you all these systems and billing structures and all that stuff. But what I am going to do is, we're going to, there's a cost involved, but, I am going to allow you to use the technology. You can just have access to this so that you can continue to grow your name, yourself, your brand, your social media. But because I do feel strongly that we have one of the best health tracker apps, best client management resources out there, that can help you in your business, that can help your clientele. And so you're going to be like, hey, yeah, I'm the Joe Blow Online Fitness Academy. And when we work together, I'm going to track everything. We're going to use this app, and it's called EF Coach, whatever. So that is one other thing we're looking at. at pursuing right now until we get to a point with Everforward Coach and our current clientele and coaches that we just got everything on lockdown, you know? One other question I'm seeing is, at the moment, I have 2 coaching services available. One with the use of the Trainerize app. I've heard good things. I've actually used that before. It's pretty good. And one without. The one without is a lower cost option and doesn't include all the features of the app. But coaching for me is just as involved. I've debated just having one version that uses the app while keeping. Let me get down to the actual question. Thoughts on having 2 separate price points? Honestly, I think it may be serving you well right now. You may be trying to, like, maybe you're growing your business and it's, you can get some clients from this and some clients from that. But just fast forwarding a little bit, I think you're going to burn yourself out. It's as your clientele begins to grow and your business begins to scale, you're just going to get. Yeah, I personally feel it's going to be too much to manage. So I would say get really, really proficient at one tool, one app, one platform, one clientele management system, because that is just going to help you streamline things so much more. So find out which one has the highest return on investment for you, which tool is the easiest for you to use, the easiest for your clients to use, which one gives you the most reporting access, which one just streamlines everything the most for you. And I would invest more in that one. I would, use more time and resources on that and put all your eggs in that basket, because just like what I was saying earlier of trying to work with every client in the world, you're going to begin to resent some clients and some platforms, and you're not going to show up the best way that you can. So I would say just get really, really efficient at the one that has the highest return on investment for you and your business. Um, all right. All right, guys, it's about 9:15. What I'll say is that this has been great. Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate everyone coming on board, listening to me, helping me through this process, and allowing me to kind of share my obstacles and successes all along. I still have obstacles, still have successes. You will too, I promise you. But one of the things that I've always found value in is to just stay human, share your story. And again, on this online aspect and being an online coach, people really, really, really want to find someone that just gets them, but more importantly, that they can connect with. So I encourage you, especially if you're scaling into the internet on the online world, show every version of yourself. Show your good days, show your bad days. Share what you had trouble with in the past, overcoming, how you overcame that, because those are the things that people are going to connect with. Those are the people that are going to begin to trust you and want to work with you, want to give you their money, because they can tell you've been through the same shit too. Um, I think it's a big misconception in this world is that in our fitness world is that people assume that we just have it all figured out. That we popped out of the womb with holding a dumbbell and, we already had a six pack. That's simply not the case. We went through something. We gravitated towards this. We got good at something, and it helped us in one way and a lot of other ways too. So don't be afraid to share that. Don't be afraid to only show your highlight reel. Show the bad days. Not like, don't just put a bunch of depressing shit out in the world, but the humanization aspect is key, especially in attracting clientele, retaining clientele. So if I can be of any further service, let me know. If you want to take down, I'll email everybody after this with some of this information, but my email, if you want to contact me directly, is just chase@everforwardcoach.com. I'll include that over here in the notes, or the chat box, excuse me, chase@everforwardcoach.com. That's my email. I'd be very happy to connect with you guys, answer any more questions. And as like a special thank you for hopping on here tonight, I will offer one consultation call with everybody. If you are looking to start your business, grow your business, getting started in the fitness world, whatever, let's connect. I would love to hop on a call with you and learn more about your business, learn more about who you are, and see if there's any way that I can help you. And then, we can go from there. Also, if you're interested in what anything else that EF Coach has to offer in terms of our group coaching, group mentorship, working for EF Coach, using EF Coach technology, I'd also be happy to talk with you about that, and we can go from there. I'm currently running a group through 2018, a group coaching mentorship experience. Based upon the turnout here tonight and the engagement, excuse me, I think there might be a need and a want for maybe another one. So I'm considering getting another group together. So if you're interested and want to maybe come together, you have people here on tonight. If you want to hop on a group call, I'll put together another program where we can all learn from each other. I can share with you a lot more detail. We can dive deeper into these key concepts tonight, so that we can make you more successful. Okay, so that would all be through just emailing me, and like I said, I'll be contacting everybody out after this. So I'd be happy to work with you one-on-one through coaching and consulting. Again, I'm extending one complimentary call for everybody here tonight. Or if we can get a group together, if we can get a few of you together, I will organize another group coaching experience so that we can get your business set up right. Okay. That's going to be a wrap, everybody. Thank you so much. And have a good night.